Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. It is not often that I get the opportunity to bring one of my true friends here into studio, and visiting from Portland is a guy I worked with back at Continental Airlines, and he stepped away from that world and went to the world of art, and I understand that because the airline industry, it's a little crazy, especially for ADHD guys like me and him. So going to the art world makes perfect sense. Patrick Zahn is here. It's the Steel Door Gallery. It's a pop-up. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Well, I'm thrilled to have you here. I've been watching your art up in up in the Great White North, and kind of keeping an eye on what you were up to. And I'm like, one of these days he's going to come to Park City. And sure enough, the other day you're like, I'm coming to Park City. I'm like, yeah, there's a surprise. And you're bringing a really cool pop-up gallery.
Yeah, this is part of what we call the Nonstop series, and it's an attempt to work with other communities and bring artwork to other places like Park City from Portland. We basically come in and actually host a show here for the artists in Salt Lake, and it's very exciting.
Yeah,
it's a little challenging, but it's so worth it.
Well, and not only are you bringing artists to us, you're going to be transplanting a couple back to you guys too.
So the big hope is we get really good at doing this, and we travel to several different cities and host the artists in their own cities, and then bring them back to Portland for a show towards the end.
That will be kind of cool.
Yeah,
it's going to give people an experience, and I think artists need that too, of sort of getting out in the field, so to speak, and a little further afield than most times.
Absolutely, and it actually allows them to exchange ideas, which I think is a really, really important part of the process of
we're seeing that a lot in the art industry lately. I mean, this is pretty common to start, to these exchanges. I've even seen some that are international as well.
Yeah, collaborating, it's kind of been a big thing for quite a while, and now it's, with social media and people being so connected, it's, that's expanding even more and more.
Well, it makes sense from a couple of perspectives. We talk about this with art often, that art, when it comes to like sort of leading our culture and integrating peoples together and sort of realizing that we are one world, art has always led that. And as we get to this more global, quicker paced, we're not writing letters to each other as pen pals, we're doing it instantly with messages. It makes sense that art would be more integrated with that and have more of those connections, those cultural connections.
Yeah, art's our history, it's our culture, it is pretty much everything. And it's so important to buy or to purchase art because it actually captures that moment in history and time.
Right.
And it actually becomes part of who we are.
Indeed. I kind of want to talk to you about it from the perspective of, I didn't know the art that was in you until it sort of escaped. Right? That was
to be honest, I had no idea either.
Yeah, I think you and I both, for a long time, we were very mechanical. We were all, it was all about just putting airplanes out and putting people on them and getting them out. That was our thing. And you and I both sort of had our moments where like, okay, maybe there's some art in us. And boy, you found some incredible stuff. Talk to me about where this comes from.
Like you were saying, I had absolutely no idea that I wanted to be an artist. I got sick and I was sidelined for a couple of years, and basically during that time, I discovered art and fell in love with it, and in that I kind of found my passion, and it just kind of expanded from there. I started working, did shows, and then eventually opened Steel Door Gallery to help emerging artists and mid-career artists kind of find their way.
Well, the story behind this, and I don't want to tell too much of your personal story, but I think it's important, is that you found yourself confined to your house for a while, to indoors specifically.
Yeah. I was. I basically was required to stay inside for a period of about a month, and that's kind of where I discovered art. And
wow.
From that point forward, I decided I no longer want to be in the corporate world, and this is what I was going to do. And I kind of set my mind from there, and that was in '06. And today I'm here in Park City, and it's just, it's such an honor to be here and working with such great artists.
Well, it's pretty impressive. Now we're seeing some of the pieces, some of the types of pieces that we're going to see at the gallery. Talk to me about where the Steel Door is. It's over in Woodside.
So we're at 502 Woodside Avenue. It's in a condo that we're converting into a gallery for 3 days. The condo's owned by Max Von App, who graciously donated the condo to us.
Wow.
And I've known Max for quite a few years, and I think you might know him from the Continental days as well. And so we have probably close to 20 artists being shown there. So
this
this will
is
be
great.
quite exciting.
So plenty of space to really highlight some great art like that, which you just saw. How are you finding some of these artists? Where are they coming to you? You already have some people in mind. You're thinking, wow, this is tremendous stuff that I'm seeing. Where's that coming?
You know, a lot of them come through the website at stilldoorgallery.com. I have a submission spot on there.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them word of mouth. People sometimes just stop by the gallery. A lot of the artists here were found by Max, and just seeing different works online.
That's awesome.
Different people and contacting them.
Well, let's talk about your gallery up in Oregon a little bit too, because I want to hear more about that. So tell me, you started that gallery a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So when I was an artist, what I realized is that there wasn't a lot of places for emerging artists to show their work, or people that were just starting out. So I wanted to create a really nice gallery to be able to give people a confidence and a reason to keep doing their art.
Because it's sometimes a thankless job.
It is.
You sell the one piece and you're like, oh my gosh, somebody really loves me.
Yeah,
those are fleeting moments.
Art can make you hungry.
Yeah.
And so it is definitely a thankless job, but it's such an important one. And these people out there, they're working so hard on trying to put their art out there.
And you remember what that was like.
I do.
What it's about.
I do, and that's why I'm on the gallery side.
Yeah.
It is very, very difficult, and I think with my background of my past history, working at Continental and marketing, that's where I can be most effective and most helpful to the art community.
Well, I'm thrilled to see that you guys are doing so many great things, to have you coming back and forth. I hope we can get a little bit of the footage when you guys go back up to Oregon with some of the artists from here. I'd love to see some of the stuff that gets created out of that synergy between these two almost, very similar places. Oregon's a little different. People are
Oregon's a little different than Park City, for sure.
If you haven't watched Portlandia, just check it out. You'll know how different it is. But we have a touch of it. We got a couple of Whole Foods here. We got some things that are sort of feel.
Some natural Portland things, for sure.
Right.
Yeah. No, you guys have absolutely great artists here, and they've been nothing but kind and helpful and supportive, and we're in the last minutes of throwing it together, and
awesome.
So it's going to be exciting. So we'll be open today from 11 to 4. The big show will be tomorrow night, starting at 6 p.m. And then we'll be here all day on Sunday from 10 to 6.
Well, it's going to be a perfect time for you to be there. The gallery stroll, of course, this weekend as well. So make that part of the gallery stroll for you. Go over and check out the art at the Steel Door gallery. It's going to be awesome.
And there's a walkway right by the post office that goes up.
Right up to you guys.
Yep.
All right, so that's where you can go to get there. Patrick Zahn, it is great to have you here, my friend. It's been such a long time.
Joe, a
since
pleasure.
Continental Airlines. I miss that place. Miss you especially, and I'm glad you came back.
Me too, and thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Here. We'll be back with more right here on the Mountain Morning Show. We've got just a few minutes to tell you about tomorrow, and maybe even slip in a video or two. We'll be right back.